What's up, big guy? How's it going?
Good. I don't like that thing on my face.
Well, it's gonna be on you.
What's up, big dog?
How you doing?
Yeah, you still doing your fight? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, she's like, you're UFC, is he a UFC fighter? I'm like, yeah, she's like, you're getting cut.
Yeah. She knows. Here it comes, dude. Got his arsenal. He's clearly cheating.
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy moment.
See if this shit helps.
After you do this, you should try one of the conditioning days and see what I can do you guys hurt.
Oh, I gotta do it. There's no way. I brought fucking shit. I brought oxygen. Like, that's how bad it is. Some of this shit helps out a little bit.
Look at you, you're gonna get high on oxygen before you even get in there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
How you feeling, buddy?
I guess ready to get my ass whooped. That's all I can be.
You nervous?
No, not nervous. It's not nerve-wracking when you know what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
I know it's not gonna be good after. I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna be sore.
Yeah.
But just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this shit.
How we doing this?
Alright, next bell, start the round. You got 1 minute. 1 minute between
This is gonna be the worst. It's gonna be the worst shit ever.
Don't go away. 30 seconds. 30.
can't breathe.
You good? You done?
Hey, Silva.
Take a longer break.
Need more air? Yeah. A lot of talking, you need a lot of air.
Damn.
Sure. You're good. Oh, I want to be good. I can't go back. You can't go back.
Look at that.
Nobody ever really does that, do they? I would try it. Exactly. That's what we're doing. Is fucking try.
He's gonna try.
You good, Eric? We'll do another round then.
Yeah. Mouth these up. Guess I gotta go get some behind the scenes footage, right?
One more, we'll be done.
All right, here, man.
You good?
I had a rock a couple times.
Yeah, of course you did. You good? You done?
No, I'll probably go back in for a minute. You catch my breath, dude.
You want that?
I sit around and smoke weed all day. Same shit I do. Give me a minute, I'll be back in there.
Get your air.
Yeah, he's saying he's coming back. Saying he's coming back.
He's good.
We'll see about that.
He did real good. He did really good. Tell you what though, he didn't hit me with an inside leg kick. I was like, oh! He threw it. He threw it.
Stay positive, dude. Stay positive.
You know I still hit you.
Thanks for letting me hit you once. Is that it? Don't take me
Damn, guys. Got her. Good. Got him good. I think that's it. Is that the ending one?
Yeah.
All right, bro. You good? Tries. Retiring right there.
One and done.
Yeah.
Better shots.
So, Colin, listen here, Kai Stewart. This is just a fucking warm-up. All right, motherfucker? I'm coming out to Spokane for you next.
This is the best day of my life. This is the best day of my life. Right here. Right here. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it a lot. Appreciate it.
Yep. Good job. You landed 2 punches. It's good.
Nice, dude. 5 years in the making. 5 years of shit talk. How you feel? Great?
So good, yeah.
I bet. Feel vindicated?
Oh. I'm happy he actually showed up.
Yeah,
Maybe
says
the
a
shit
lot.
talking will stop a little bit.
Probably.
But
That had to put some respect on his
if it
tone.
doesn't, we can do it again.
Round 2, maybe. How you feeling, buddy?
Oh,
It's been like 5 minutes, maybe.
a little slight headache. Got rid of that body shot. Crippled me. I smoked too much weed. I should probably get in a little bit better shape.
Yeah.
So I want
maybe.
him now. But this only gets be more prepared for my next one. When I take on Kai Stewart here in a few months. I'll be out at Spokane.
Bare knuckle?
I don't know yet. We gotta talk to our agents to figure that out behind the scenes. So yeah, see me here back in a couple months, better and stronger.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, stay positive. And stay positive. Welcome to BSSB episode 100. Where tonight we're after the fight that you guys just watched, and I guess he probably didn't get a proper introduction as he should. I don't know how the beginning of this is gonna be cut up, but we're here. It's an honor to have in person, but we have two-time LFA heavyweight champ, UFC veteran. Jeff Lights Out Hughes.
Yeah. Long time friend, known this kid forever.
Yeah, so he was gracious enough to let me hop in the octagon with him and show me what it's all about. Now we're here to talk about it a little bit and shoot the shit, so enjoy it. Are you ready? I don't know, like...
We're going. I mean, we usually do intros and outros whenever, you know.
So we're back home after the fight, the sparring match. I'll call it sparring match, fight, whatever. I'm still in one piece. I survived. Headache, sore neck. My knees hurt, but I have bad knees. So that's my own shit. But yeah, I didn't die. I got rocked with a body shot to end it there, which I made a pretty good sound, like a
Yeah.
when I got fucking hit. Yeah, that felt great.
Yeah.
So.
It's a nice sound. We might have to clip that.
Yeah, but
Sound
overall, I'm happy with it. So
Yeah, it's a good time. What do you think, Jeffy?
I had fun doing it.
Yeah.
It was 5 years in the making or something.
yeah, a lot of shit talk.
Did it feel good? Did it feel good to finally just get him?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, always. It's always good. Even though we knew that like the banter was always friendly, it's always nice to shut him up, you know? Like, here, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, but we tried to make it look like it wasn't friendly for a while.
Yeah, we did. But it was all
Tried
friendly.
to kayfabe it up as much as we
Yeah.
could, but we're not.
Did anybody
pro
buy
wrestlers.
it? Was anybody like, whoa, what the fuck's going on
I think
here?
in the beginning,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit,
I'm a terrible actor, so.
but
No, but
knowing us, they know that we can't be that serious. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
It was fun, though. We had, 2 months of this, and then just kept pushing it back and shit coming up, and but I had fun. It was
Yeah,
fun.
shout out to Apex. Is it Apex Gym?
Apex Fighting Systems, I think,
That's
is the
right.
actual official
Apex
name.
Fighting Systems in Coventry
Yeah.
on Manchester Road, 3333. Manchester Road.
That sounds
I think.
right to me.
Is
I
that
don't
real?
know.
That sounds like a
I
movie
think that
thing, like
is-
555,
yeah,
5555.
Yeah, that's
No,
it.
That's it.
That's it.
Good job, dude.
Check
Did you
them
just Google that right before?
I just remember it from when I had to do it earlier.
Oh,
from
that's
the map.
right. Yeah, you had to type it in.
So I don't have that much brain damage or CTE.
I might.
But yeah, no. So make sure you check them out. They were gracious enough to let us go in there and fuck around for a half hour or so and do this.
For sure.
Only thing I wish we would have done is do like walkouts.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, walkouts would have been cool, but I wasn't trying to expel any more energy than what I had to leading up to it. But yeah, I just tried to stay as calm as possible. Just try to breathe, I guess, like that. But
so, what was your? I feel like I'm doing the interview here, but
no, you're good.
What,
It's just a conversation.
What was your thoughts before, and then did it live up to what you thought it was going to be, or
Like my thoughts before were, like I said, this was all friendly before. So like my thoughts of going into this weren't as bad as if I knew that like you truly wanted to fuck me up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, this dude's going to rock me quite a bit. He's going to toy around much as he can or whatever. I just got to try to survive. I knew I was way out of my league. I knew there was zero chance already going into it. I'm not ignorant on that. But after coming out of it, it's like I already respected the sport so much, but now it's like at a whole nother level of like what people do, how long 2 minutes is. They go 5 minutes. Yeah, just all that. Like I try to like bounce around and how tired you get just trying to like constantly having to move and shit like that the whole time. So
I will say that you were moving a lot more than I thought.
Well, I had to.
oh, me too.
Like I mean I didn't think that like you would be like just stand up with them, but like there was a few times where I had to get the fuck out the way, and I was quite a distance away when I start. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you can't hit.
You were moving around like a young whippersnapper.
I was trying to go 40. With the you can't hit what you can't see type method. You know.
You're not that quick. You weren't that quick, buddy.
But no, like I said, I never thought I was gonna do amazing, but the respect level just went up like 100 times for getting in there. It's crazy.
For sure. And
everybody there after you guys left was like, "Hey, that's awesome. You got in there."
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried it.
So you got respect too, for just going to do it. You know,
sure.
I was obviously we weren't trying to kill each other or anything, but
I took a fair share of shots. The leg kicks really didn't bother me.
that's good.
That shit didn't bother me at all. It hurt. Like there was one that like hurt, but it didn't.
It didn't bother you at all.
Like no, but like it didn't like bend. Like I don't remember like folding to it or being like fuck. Like that one hurt. Like you felt them.
I remember.
I like kicked you
hear
once.
that Jeff kicked harder.
It was like a low calf kick or something.
But I just remember body kicking you, a right body kick, and you just going flying. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
it looked like a Matrix movie or something.
I couldn't believe that you almost took him down. You were trying to take him down. I was like, oh shit.
You did get on my back. I'm like,
it was MMA, I thought.
It is.
That's what I said.
But I'm like,
you guys never like put
we never had
rules down.
No. No, but I'm like, dude, if this dude gets on top of me, this is where he's just gonna fuck with me. Like, that's where you could just toy with me.
It's Contender Series all over again.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You 42 times in the
head.
So
I had to try to like keep him away for a second. I was hopping around on one foot for a minute, one leg.
You did better than I thought.
No,
I'm glad. That's cool though. I'm glad I did better than you thought. I tried not to embarrass myself.
Yeah. That dude, shout out to that dude that did the other camera work.
Did it look good?
With the phone, he did real good.
Yeah, he did real good.
For sure.
Like I said, like times longer, just like how that pressure feels. Like when you just have this just big old dude coming at you and shit. And it's like, I tried to put my hand out to like, because it felt like he was trying to press me to the cage to do some shit. And I'm like, I can't get my back to the cage or I'm fucked. So I tried to like push him. I couldn't. So I had to like hop around and try to move real quick. Because I was like, I can't go against the cage. I'm done.
Yeah.
You threw a 1-2 and I was telling you before we started, you threw a 1-2 and I didn't realize how long your arms were. And it hit me right here. I moved my head this much and I was like shocked because usually people throw that and it's this far away.
Yeah.
You were right here. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, he did it. He did a pretty impressive, like little evade move too. At one point, that was.
I hate to see the one. I don't remember if it was the first round or the second round. I think it was the second round. I was throwing a right body hook and I don't know what happened. You moved, and I just swung and missed like by 4 foot. I'm like, oh my god, I'm rusty.
Yeah, it was like
I do
shades
remember
of,
that actually.
Shades of Lomachenko.
It was second round, and it was more towards the exit of the.
Yeah.
My back was going towards the exit of the cage. Oh, I can remember that shit, bro. I'm good at remembering
That's
the
what
shit.
I was like, oh, that was
Like I said, I
fucking
didn't black out at all. My mind mentally
Lomachenko.
was there the whole time. Like
It's good.
pressure situations don't bother me. Like I told him, like playing baseball my whole life. Like there was a point, and I was a starting pitcher, and there was plenty of times where I had to sit there, and there's like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people at one of these like big ass tournaments just sitting there watching me. Yeah, that's a fucking pressure.
Right.
But like I've overcome that shit, so like I don't know, pressure don't bother me. I try to do well. I try to hit you with a sneaky like backhand too early in the
I
fight.
just saw that,
I
too.
hit.
I
I threw
remember
that
that.
like. I threw like something and then tried to hit him with one of these.
But
He did.
dude,
I think he started laughing.
My favorite moment of the night for you was the most surprising moment. Your MVP moment for sure was the mixture of Masvidal, fucking knee, flying knee, and Roman Reigns Superman punch.
Yeah, I just got to keep him on his toes, keep him guessing. That's what you got to do. You got to keep him guessing. In
Like
there.
I said, I'm pretty sure you can hear me in the camera on the camera to be like, "Oh shit," or "Oh wow."
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I tried that figuring out like length, like you said, that distance to like throw
Different.
that. Like it's
Yeah.
like you said, that one time I was close, but there's other times where I like left it this way short, and I'm like, thank God he didn't fucking rock me right there, because this
Yeah.
would have ended the fight. Like could have killed me, because I just left it, and I was almost like, God damn, that's so short. But
How did the body shot that ended it feel?
that one hurt. That one just took everything out of me.
Yeah.
That was like in my rib, like right here. I can still feel it. Like that one got me.
Did he
for-
tell you what I said to him last night?
No.
Not till afterwards.
Oh, okay.
I told him
Yeah.
in the car,
Yeah.
but
And here's the thing. It's like I told him though, I've watched enough of those videos online, and I said, you're not an asshole or going to treat me like Michael Bisping.
yeah,
So
Wait a minute.
like, you ever see Bisping like just beat the fuck out of those dudes?
No.
Like I knew you wouldn't do that, and that also, like I said earlier, was helped my like why I wasn't as like nervous really going into it. But like
yeah.
I was like, the way he's gonna drop me, which you watch all those guys that like go in there are cool with him, is just that fucking hook
To the
that
body.
they get right to the
Yeah.
body, and it drops everybody. And I was like, I know it's coming at some point in time. It was just a matter of like when you were gonna do it.
I guess a more like updated example would have been like you knew he wasn't gonna Sean Strickland, yeah. Where he
Or
just
Sean Strickland. I said Bisping. I'm sorry, Sean Strickland.
Oh, is
I
that what you
Bisping.
meant? Okay.
Yeah, I meant Sean
Good thing I said
Strickland.
that.
Yeah, sorry.
I did.
Sean.
I think I did see that video where he beats the fuck out of
I think he's got
somebody.
a couple people.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, the fight's over, and he just still keeps going, beating the shit. Like I wasn't. Thankfully, I didn't have to worry about that. Like I wasn't gonna get hit and like
Yeah, but
ground pounded.
What was the lead up to that?
I don't know. There
You know what I
could-
mean? Like
Yeah, there could have been some real ass shit
Right.
talk shit. I guess.
No,
Oh.
for sure.
you get in there. I mean, you gotta expect
But-
everything.
Like I wouldn't have minded a knockout, honestly, because like
I think you would have.
no, I don't think I would have. It'd have been cool. I would have been fine with it.
I know. I'm just saying. I think
But like, because he just would have rocked me in my jaw and turned it off. Like I don't think he would have just straight like fucking just been like whoa boom and like
Yeah, I was trying to avoid your nose because nobody wants them.
exactly.
nose.
That's why. So
oh,
like,
but man, it would have looked so good.
yeah, it would have looked great. But
That
like,
blood would have brought out so much color.
We can
but,
do it
yeah,
again.
I don't know. It was whatever. I got hit I don't know how many times I got hit in the fucking jaw, but it was 4 or 5 times, I think.
Yeah. That was fun. I had a great
I don't
time.
remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go when we go back and look. But
Did you guys watch it already?
We went through it a little bit. Nothing's been uploaded or anything yet.
no, I just watched that kick that put me down in the first round, and I listened to myself get hit with that body shot. But other than that, nothing else really.
No.
So you constantly, like not constantly, but like, are you training not to get back into fighting, but you just got back into training because you missed like
I
had
missed
a little bit of an itch and getting in there, kind of light sparring with people, kind of.
Yeah, I want to help people out. I want to pass some knowledge to people. You know, a lot of people. I've been in this for 20 years now. A lot of people help me out,
Yeah,
so I kind of want to do that. Plus, I mean, I enjoy it. It's like my whole adult life, from the time I was 17 to, 30 something,
Yeah.
32, 33. That was my life. So getting away from it for so long, I had to get back into it. I mean, I probably only train 3 times a month, and every time I do, I'm like, man, I'm going to get back in shape.
Yeah.
I never do.
No, life is life, man. It's hard.
Once you get to a certain age, it's even harder and even harder.
Now, like to that coaching aspect, when you were coming up and you were young and you started, is there a certain coach or something that a coach did or said that like clicked that switch into you to like turn it up in you? Like you were like, I don't know, that like really got you going or changed your like perspective?
I've had a lot of good coaches. I started with Terry Blackwell at Victory, and then we kind of lost some guys, and the gym was at the time they're doing well now, but then I moved to Evolve and I had a coach there. He left, started his own gym, but I stayed, and then the coach that took over for him, a guy named Steve Tracek.
Okay.
I've talked about him.
No, I met
on
him
our podcast
like once or twice.
And he was the one that really got me starting to think, and everything started clicking when me and him started working together. And we call each other the Road Warriors because that's what we do. I mean,
yeah,
nice. We traveled all over the place and we trained for 15 years now, so yeah, that's my dude.
Nice. Now at Evolve, did you, was Clint Musser there?
He was there probably my first year as the wrestling coach,
Okay.
and then he left. So I started there in 2011. That's when I started there.
He was one of our wrestling coaches at Perry and like a substitute teacher and shit like that.
That's a bad dude right there.
Yeah, we actually had him and Brian Dolph. I don't know if you know.
Yep.
Yeah, there were 2 wrestling coaches, like 2 badass motherfuckers that like were our wrestling coaches. Crazy. So after there, you went up and you transitioned. When did you transition to strong style?
Let's see, 2018, I think. Yeah, 2017. Yeah, my last fight in LFA was my first fight training there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and that was a whole different. That was crazy up there.
Was that like a whole I don't want to disrespect. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a good way from like people out there, but like a JV to a varsity. Was it like a whole nother level of like intensity and training?
Yeah,
and
it was
or was it more like you had to put more time in if you wanted to be there? It was more of an.
Yes, definitely. It's all the above, really. I mean, it was more intense. The training was, most people, it broke a lot of people. And a couple of times it broke me. I just didn't, I couldn't even, I couldn't make it. You know what I mean? Like I had to push and push, but it gives you this mindset, like, there's no quitting. The hard part's the gym, the fight's the easy part. That's where I started really figuring it out, like training and like what a camp really meant.
Gotcha.
Like getting ready for the fight. They really, you had no choice. You had to be there 6 days a week.
Yeah.
You
started training like a pro.
Yeah,
right.
Diet, getting the right diet, getting the right training.
They didn't. It's just like it's not a hobby there. It's like that's what you're there to do.
No, and I remember like you were in really great shape back then. Like that was probably the best shape I think I've known you since like first grade. That's the best shape you were ever in.
Yeah.
No, not to put you down.
No,
right? But no, like you were, because I can remember those were the jam up days.
Yeah.
And like, you were coming in rocking fucking tank tops and shit, and just looking lean and mean, dude.
Yeah, those were the days, man.
For sure.
And you had no choice. There was a room full of 20 killers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And everybody had the same
Strong
mindset.
Style had and still forever has the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Right.
Greatest UFC heavyweight of all time.
Yep.
Stipe, for the people who don't know.
If you didn't know.
Yeah.
So before you got to Strong Style, were you always like the big dog in those places? Like you were always kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like What was like your welcome to strong style moment? Was it a training session that got you to break, or was it like
Yeah,
Stipe
that's a
hits
good
you with a
question.
left fucking hook and
It-
put you on your ass? Like, what was
Yeah.
that?
It was probably they do a thing called the polar bear run.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
Is it cold?
yeah, it's like, you're up on the lake.
Okay.
So there's a blizzard out. It's 30 degrees or whatever, and and I thought they were messing around. And they're like, okay, everybody, polar bear run. I went out there, and all these dudes start taking their shirts off. I'm like, what the hell are we doing?
Shit.
We do a 5K with no shirt on. You just shorts, and you can wear a hat. You can wear a stocking hat. That's it.
Wow.
Dude, that was my welcome to strong style moment.
I would hate that. That's I hate.
But that's what I mean. That whole system is just to turn you. It's almost like turn you into like a gladiator or something.
Yeah, it's like a military type.
Yeah.
You got to go deep.
They break you first, and then you just It was
It's like David fucking Goggins. Type
yeah.
shit. That's crazy. Who's that dude that can regulate his temperature and shit? He's been on Rogan a few times. It's basically a superpower, but it's like
when he
weird,
goes in the water.
something Jorgensen or
I
what's his fuck?
I forget.
He's dope though, man. The Iceman or something like that they call him. He can run and like deathly cold, and he can regulate his body temperature.
Yeah, basically he can sit in an ice bath and still keep his body at
Yeah.
fucking 80 degrees.
How?
I can't remember.
I don't know, some breathing techniques and
I
some
can't
other
remember his
deep
name, but-
meditation shit, and he's probably has something chemically off in his body that helps him do it. But yeah, he can keep his body pretty warm.
Do you ever see those guys that they'll like cut a hole in the ice, and then there's like another hole
Oh
in the
yeah,
ice, and they swim under it?
that's just scary.
I freak out every time I
That's
watch
anxiety
it. I
right
couldn't
there,
do
bro.
it.
For sure.
I couldn't do it. Plus, I
Watch-
hate cold water.
Watching
Yeah.
those are like watching the people that walk on the top of buildings and the top of mountains and shit.
Oh, and they'll hang off the
And
ledge
or
of
they'll
like a
ride their bike on
skyscraper.
tiny little thing.
Yeah, fuck
That
all
shit
that.
drives me
I
insane.
have no desire to ever do any of that.
No.
Yep, me either. Especially when you hear those stories about people that tragically fucking died. doing
Yeah.
that shit.
But
Dumbasses hanging off buildings and shit.
But before I get into some of our BSSB questions, so you were talking about coach or whatever, and say like an 18-year-old kid comes to you, and what advice would you give him, or what would you tell him here before he starts out, like about getting into MMA and shit like that?
That's a good question. I was just talking to some of the guys at the gym today, and I think if you really truly want to do this as a career, in your 20s, or as soon as you get in there, is like and I could be wrong, but could be the most important years. Like, you want to have a girlfriend, you want to have kids, relationships, friends. Like, it ain't gonna work out. Like,
Yeah.
you have to put it first.
Your relationship is that gym.
You're right.
Dedication, yeah.
Right. And I had a kid at 20, what was I, 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
And that was hard to juggle all that because
Yeah.
I was working. I was going straight to the gym. I'd get home at like 8:39 and I'd see her for 15 minutes and
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
5 days a week. So
And your fights weren't anywhere close, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like your travel was, you're traveling as well in there.
So it's a very selfish lifestyle that, I mean, you have to be selfish to be successful in this sport, I think.
No, for sure.
And do you think like a wrestler is like how they talk about like almost the best like skill set to come from, like foundation wise, like a D1 wrestler, like a really good high school wrestler? You think-
Yeah, I think wrestling is still top notch. I think if you can take somebody down, control them, you're going to win the fight 9 times out of 10.
Gotcha. Pretty good.
And then with that wrestler mindset, like with wrestling, it's like MMA because you're out there by yourself. There is no team, but like that help you in those mental moments of like cutting fucking weight because you did it for fucking.
Yeah, you see that too. You see the wrestlers that they walk around at whatever 81, 82, and they cut down to 55, and you don't see other guys from other disciplines do that as much.
Yeah.
These wrestlers have been doing it their whole life, and it's insane because these guys. Some of these guys are small.
Oh yeah.
And they don't have anything to lose to begin with, and then they're cutting 15, 20 pounds, and you're like, that's insane.
What was the most? And what was your camps? Did you like a 6-week or 8-week camp when you did things?
As soon as I really signed the fight. So
if it was 13
10
weeks, or
if
what,
it was
you
you kind of jumped in. You started ramping it up about 8 weeks out.
What was the most weight you had to lose? Like within like the last like 2 or 3 days? Is there anything that was dramatic?
When I was in amateur, I went 205 for a couple of fights. I think a whole year. And my very first fight, I cut from 248 to 203.
Was that your normal walk around weight? It was like
248. Yeah, this is when I was 245, 248, and then I was like, I'm gonna try to cut 205, and I did. The first cut wasn't that bad. I had 2 months to do it. The second cut was like another month and a half, and I was only like 230. But once I hit 212, dude, it was like I had no more weight to lose. I wasn't sweating. It was miserable. So yeah, it's funny because I jumped up after I did my full year of 205 light heavyweight. I wanted to fight a guy. He was a heavyweight, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go up there and fight this guy one time, and then I'll come back down to 205, and I just never came close to it again. I was like, fuck that. I'm not cutting weight anymore. Never again.
Now, is there final question? Is there anybody like, I know it won't happen because you're done, but is there anybody that like you'd prefer to run it back with if you had an opportunity to have that like fight again? Or you just, it is what it is and you're cool with it? It
is what it is. Like,
I just didn't know if anyone was like, you actually truly hated someone was like an asshole. No. Like
I've never hated anybody I fought. Most of the time afterwards, we've either got a drink, a picture, whatever.
Oh, like, that's cool.
Yeah, like I've always been cool. A lot of the time, back when Facebook was like really the only social media out there, you'd fight a guy and then like literally 2 hours later he'd friend request you and you're like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, and then you'd look and he'd just be a normal dude just like you were, you know what I mean?
You and Maurice Green, you guys fought what, 3 times?
Twice. That was the one guy that I would fight again just because it'd be a rubber match. Yeah. And I have so much respect for him.
I was about to say, you guys got kind of friendly. You guys fought each other so many times.
We were always cool. The first fight, like, and I'll never forget, we were sitting in the hotel, and we were fighting for LFA, and he was kind of real loud and shit at the weigh-ins, and I was like looking at my coach, like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? And we were sitting there waiting on the shuttle or something to go to the fights, and he walks up, and I'm like, what the fuck's he gonna say? He's like, hey, let's go put on a good show tonight. And I was like, whoa. So I knew he was like putting on for the cameras, which is great. Like I never had that ability to do that. I was just like,
you're
I'm camera shy. I don't, this is all.
I think that'd be my best part.
It probably would be.
I think it'd be my best part would be talking shit. As you can tell by the end of the video when I call
I've never really talked shit. Mark grew up with me, so like. Yeah. I never talk shit. I just if we were fighting, giant. We're gonna fight.
Yeah, gentle giant until you pissed him off.
Right. Like
even in the backyard wrestling, I don't think I ever saw Mr. Hollywood cut a promo. No. We saw Shane botch one pretty well.
Why did we send him out first? That was like the first promo we ever did.
He was kind of our guinea pig. That was the only promo we really ever did. But we just kind of gave it on him, and he had a Vampiro moment. Rewind it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you ever show him any of the old?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I showed him that video actually. Yeah. But yeah, there's some stuff out there.
Yeah.
But we'll get off the MMA and fighting topics, and we'll go to the BSSB. So, what's your top favorite cereals growing up, man? Like, you still smash cereal to this day?
No, we don't buy it.
No, we don't buy it. Yeah, that's good probably because that shit's terrible.
Well, I just buy it. I eat junk all the time anyways. But yeah, my wife doesn't buy it, and I never shop. So
there you go. But back in the day, you probably fucked the cereal up. You look like a guy that had a big bowl with like a ladle.
No, I was like 3-4 bowls because I had nobody at home to stop me. So like I would just sit there and smash it. But
shovel method, I assume.
What's that?
The shovel method.
Yes. So Cocoa Pebbles. Okay. And Sugar Smacks.
Sugar Smacks.
Okay. Yeah, with the frog on it. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, something like that.
Smacks, Never a fan of those. Like they weren't bad, but
people
like,
either love them or they just don't like them at all. So
to me, they taste like they were like burnt.
Yeah, I
like a
that.
sweet burntness.
Yeah.
They weren't bad. I just didn't.
Almost like
I wouldn't buy 'em.
styrofoam or something. I was like,
Yeah.
I like this. But yeah, that was a good
I hated
question.
milk, so I didn't eat cereal. I would eat something dry
So why is that your one question you ask people?
because
Good
it's
question.
a good question. I
It
just
is a
like to
good
know.
No. I said what he said was a good
Oh,
question.
good.
I don't know. I like Reese Puffs though. That's my favorite cereal
Okay.
to
Yeah,
eat,
that's bomb.
like dry. But all right, if you could have I know it's gonna be a fight, but if you could have a fight anywhere that you haven't, like if you were in your career, if you could have went and fought somewhere, where would that have been?
What?
Like country or some shit. Like if you could have
Yeah.
went and fought
It's-
Brazil, Japan, Russia, wherever.
Always
like,
wanted to fight in Pride growing up.
fuck
Like
yeah, dude!
that
I
was
love
my-
Pride.
Right.
Dude, that's my shit right
I
there.
owned, I believe, every Pride and almost all the Bushidos.
Oh,
So
dude.
Japan then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I
In
just
the
wanted to
Tokyo
fight in that
Dome.
promotion. Yeah,
Have
Tokyo
Yuji
Dome.
Shimada. No, how about tackling? No, attack.
That's his favorite
Cream
rap.
fight. Cream fight. I love that fucking dude, man.
So either have to be Pride. It's not really so much Japan, but Pride.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the country, I always wanted to. Well, since they did it, I wanted to do it. What's that thing in the Vegas, the Spear or whatever?
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be fucking sweet.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
He went there. He saw the Eagles there.
Yeah,
Was it
I've
sweet?
seen the Eagles
Yeah.
live. That shit was crazy as fuck.
Yeah, we showed videos and stuff on the pod. It's pretty cool.
I'd love to. That'd have been cool to fight there.
Yeah.
I know they'll never do it again and all that, but
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah.
And then, if you could wake up tomorrow and there was any car, truck, whatever, any vehicle in your driveway, what vehicle would you want? Is like your shit.
See, I'm not a car guy or
Yeah.
truck guy, but I would like a big, probably like a Suburban or what's the big one? Expedition or whatever? Not the Expedition, Excursion.
Excursion.
Something
yeah,
like
those
that.
are sweet.
Yeah, I'm not a huge car guy, so
Oh, okay.
Good choice.
I respect people that are because like I can tell you anything about a car and I'm like, I can change the tire. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm a tire. Change the oil.
Yeah, oil.
That's it. I don't know them that well either.
You're pretty good at helping change brake pads.
Yeah, I can
Brakes.
change brake
watched
pads.
you
I
help
can do
Corey that
basic
way.
shit,
Yeah.
stuff. I change fuses and find stupid shit, but not like my dad can tear apart a car and have like 1,000 parts laying there, and he remembers how to put them all back together. It's insane, belts and all that.
That's how my
That's
dad
not
was
right.
until it got two computers.
Yeah,
Too much
he don't-
computer in
yeah.
it. But like an older, like 70s, 80s, 90s, where they started, my
Yeah.
dad was the same way. He could tear a fucking engine apart and put it right back together.
I think it's
Me,
because they
I
didn't
don't
have the
know
internet.
dick. I was just getting yelled at to hold the flashlight, so I wasn't learning.
Yeah.
You know?
We've all had that. I think. I think all three of us probably experienced that. a
I
lot.
think I did it for you, changing brake pads.
Yeah. You're gonna go back sometime?
Oh, I'd go back. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
care.
yeah.
Yeah. Now that I know what to expect, and I need to work because I was working out, and then it got delayed, and I'm like, fuck, and then I just got out of it, and I never got back into it. But if I just need to work out a little bit more and get better cardio, that's it. But
Yeah, you kind of got gassed out.
oh fuck yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do anything.
Oh, but
I
yeah.
smoke weed and cigarettes,
Yeah, that's
and I don't work out. I walk a lot, but that don't mean shit.
yeah.
It's a different type of cardio.
Yeah,
the
there's
only
a
way
whole
to get
different-
better at it.
And plus, look at me. Like, who would have thought I was going to be bouncing around like a fucking deer? It just came out of me. I don't know. Like, I was trying to be an active fighter.
I got you. I wasn't criticizing.
No, but like that takes a lot of cardio. If I stood there, it was
Oh,
probably a
definitely
little
does.
slower. I
I
wouldn't have
did-
been as
I would
bad.
have done worse. You know what I mean?
But,
Yeah, it's a different type of cardio. The only way to get it is to keep doing it. You
Yeah.
can't. It's like you could run 10 miles a day and then get in there and grapple
and you'd be done.
and you're still toast.
Yeah.
Your legs, you don't have your legs under you, and then your shoulders start to burn. I was just going with as soon as you guys left, the state champ came in from somewhere down here.
Thank God he didn't see you.
And
Called
we-
him out.
we were grappling, wrestling, and the first round I took him down. Second round he took me down. The third round we were just tied up, and I was so tired afterwards. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm leaving.
That
I'm
was
outta
right
here."
after us.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm fucking tired. I've done a million rounds.
All right, that explains why you were here like 45 minutes sooner than you thought.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You must have been all tuckered out.
Yeah, I literally looked at Brian and said, I'm out of here.
Well, good thing I got some fucking monsters for you, buddy.
So do people? Were people always headhunting you in like situations like that, knowing that you were like UFC and like?
Not really.
Not really headhunting, I should say, but like
and I've been since I've been one of the bigger guys in the gym all the time. You know, since I started, it's all the smaller guys always try to take your head off.
Yeah,
because they think they can, which I understand. They're smaller, and I don't try to use, especially when I'm going with smaller guys. I don't try to use my weight or my size advantage on them.
Yeah.
But when they try to take my head off, I had to like let them know.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
Papa's still in town.
Give him a receipt, as they say in the wrestling biz.
So were you ever? So since you watch Pride, you know a lot of fighters and veteran fighters and fighters. Were you ever starstruck, or did you meet someone that you were like, "Fuck, I can't believe I just met that dude"?
Forrest Griffin.
Forrest Griffin
Yeah.
was
Nice.
it? Right there?
Wasn't he like your? What did he? You went in. You were going to see a doctor or something like that.
I was. They said that there's cryo downstairs. You want to try it out? And I said, yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure. And they're okay. Wait over there, and we'll have somebody come get you. And I just hear like 2 hallways down, Jeff Hughes. I'm like, what's up? They had no idea who it was. He turned and it was Forrest Griffin. I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna do your cryo or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Cryo. I'm like, okay. I didn't know what to say. It was probably the most awkward conversation ever. But that was didn't get me into it, but that fight got a lot of people into it. He's like he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He was a champion.
No doubt.
Plus the surprise aspect. Like you weren't expecting it to be Forrest Griffin.
Right. I was expecting some worker or just some random person. And
turns out it's Forrest fucking Griffin.
Yeah. It was awesome.
No, that'd
be the one.
So you said Japan was where you'd probably want to go because you'd always want to fight Pride and shit like that.
Just Pride, yeah.
So you have gone quite a few places around the world.
Yeah. My favorite place to fight was probably Vancouver.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, and you told me it's fucking beautiful up there.
At least it was. I don't know what it's like now.
Yeah.
No, but you said that like you went to like a park or something. And, like, everywhere you looked, it was like 3 or 4 different like worlds.
Yeah. So I told him a long time ago we were looking for something to do. We were there for a week or whatever, and we're walking around the city. I was like, everybody's riding a bike. Let's go rent a bike. Yeah. Thinking it was going to be like $25, $50, whatever. They're like $6 or $9 from like for what? And they're like for the day. I'm like, fuck yeah,
dude.
So me and Steve rented bikes, and we just started going around town. Everybody's so nice up there. Like, not like down here. You ask somebody, they can tell you go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So like, hey, where's a cool place to go? And this lady was like, if you go down like 3 blocks and take a right, there's the park. I'm like, let's go check it out. Well, it wasn't like a park.
Like a playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
like
city, big skyscrapers.
Park.
Yeah. We went down 3 blocks, took a right, and it just opens up, and it's like a mountain landscape, and it's like something you see on Yellowstone or something.
Yeah,
the ocean's right there, or a bay or whatever.
You said there was like a beach. Like whatever direction you looked, it was like a different beautiful scene.
It was insane. I was like, that's where if I could live somewhere outside of the United States, it'd be Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was sweet.
You fought on Fight Island too, didn't you?
I did.
What was that like?
Well, we were there for a reason because it was COVID. So it's not like you could do much.
It was 2020, right? Obviously, yeah. It wasn't,
So.
Yeah, so what, did you test before you left? How stringent was that? Like the testing before
Every single day.
Once a day? Every day you woke up, you just.
Yeah, well, before we got up there, we had to all get on some.
Were you like quarantined for like a week somewhere before you flew out?
Yeah, so we had to test here, send our test in, make sure it was negative.
Was it the nasal test?
Yeah.
God,
and we didn't know what we were doing, so we were just like, I was like touching my brain. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah, I had to do it myself.
I had it one time, and a doctor did it to me, and man, it was uncomfortable.
It sucks.
Oh my God, he's like, I thought he was giving me a lobotomy.
That's what it feels like.
He poked my brain, dude.
Yeah.
But
we were all doing it to ourselves, and we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, so we send it in. It's been so long, but I think we flew out to Vegas, had to stay there in our hotel room. We couldn't leave our hotel room for like 48 hours.
Was it a nice room though? They hook you
Yeah,
up?
we had like a double room. It was cool.
Was it just you in the room?
Me and a
or
coach.
You and the coach?
Yeah. And we couldn't leave. They called us down to test once or twice a day. I don't remember. And then...
So you just relied on room service and like...
Yeah,
shit
they
like
brought
that?
all of our meals and stuff up. It was cool. And, I mean, it was boring after... You could only play video games for so long.
Yeah, no, definitely. So were you like working out in there then too? Or you hitting mitts and shit?
So it was a
Just, like-
double room. So the one room was where we slept, and the other room... You walk through the doors, and that they had a whole mat set out, and you hit mitts and shit.
So they said, "Oh, that's cool though."
Yeah.
That they did all that. Then, yeah, that's sweet.
And then we flew over there.
How long was that?
I want to say it's 16 hours.
Regular, like were you?
No, it was a private 777, I think.
So you got some nice seats and shit.
Yeah, I got
like,
the couch with the screen in front of me. It was
my
cool.
dog. That's what's up, bro. That's the way.
But we
to
were the
fly.
only ones on the plane. It wasn't like...
It was just UFC fighters.
Yeah, it was
like,
just... Everybody on that card was getting flown over.
Who all flew over with you?
Yeah, who was on that card?
I don't remember.
You don't
Anybody
remember?
significant?
I don't remember at
All
all.
right, there you go.
Uh,
That's
I
cool
remember
though.
either.
16 hours is long. That's how long I gotta take flights for when I go to Taiwan.
Yeah.
It's like 15 to 16.
from California,
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So then we got to Abu Dhabi. We went straight to the hotel. Hotel was like public wasn't allowed there. And we had to quarantine again for 48 hours. Couldn't leave our room. And then after that, we kept tested negative. Then we got to explore the hotel, and there was like a private beach for us, and we got to whatever sea that is.
Yeah.
Like the saltiest water I've ever swam in my life. That's
Was it thick? Could you tell it was like
yeah, oh yeah, it felt a lot different. But it was great. I mean, like there was nobody on the beach.
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So what was the cool like did you get to at least in your area, was there any like did you see like any type of like cool architecture, or was it just like what was out there? Was it just you guys?
There was a Formula One track under our hotel. So it'd come
and they were racing.
they
and
were
shit?
practicing, yeah.
Oh,
So
you
we'd
had to
sit on
watch
our
that.
balcony after our workout or whatever, and we just watch them race or practice, and so it was cool. But
And then at that point,
boring.
you could interact with anybody on that island,
Yeah,
right?
you had to
because
have
you guys
a-
are all, so you're not restricted to anything
yeah,
at that
after
point.
48 hours, I
Yeah.
think it was 48 hours. But
I love food. What was the best thing you ate? Do you remember food? Do you enjoy food?
yeah, look at me, man. I enjoy
Who
food.
doesn't at least enjoy food a little bit?
But like, do you remember like what was something bomb?
The best meal on that trip was the flight back.
Oh, really?
Dude, it was like top 5 steak I've ever had in my life.
What was the airline? Was it Emirates
Yeah.
or whatever? Yeah.
Emirates.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
just
I-
luxurious.
Last time I flew on mine, I had filet with a lobster tail. Bomb as shit, bro.
Yeah, good.
It's so good, dude.
You don't think it's gonna be good, but it surprised
tasty,
me.
man.
Yeah.
Well, they got a reputation to uphold, man. I've heard about them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I would like to fly Emirates one time.
They had like a $50,000 like seat you can get on there. It's like on the top floor, and it's like you get a little room. You get a shower and
That's
shit.
insane.
I watched that Casey Neistat or whatever.
Yeah.
I watched him do it, and dude, yeah, he got like a 30-minute time in the bathroom and shit, like in the morning to take a shower, and like
That's dope. But we
he had
just
like a
get
little room.
We just get a pod. Like we get like when I fly, you just get like your own little area and shit. So you get like a bed and shit.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's what this was. Like I said, it was like a little
But
hotel
it's
room.
like there's other people by you. It's just it's not private like that though.
See, I hate flying, so like it doesn't matter if I'm in a chair this size or I get a whole room. I'm white knuckling the whole way there, just holding on to something. I hate flying.
My kids are hilarious, bro.
Yeah, I used to have to give him pep talks. Before that.
We'd fucking be flying, and for some reason, every time you hit like Japan or somewhere over there, you hit when I'm going to Taiwan, you hit fucking turbulence like no other. And my kids are shit giggling, laughing and shit, thinking this is like
They're all like,
like a fucking roller, like yeah, and everyone else is like sitting there like, and they're
Watching
fucking
their life
thinking
flash
because they don't,
before their
you know, they don't understand what's going on, the perspective of the situation, and they think it's fucking funny. They're laughing, loving it, and everyone else is like you said, white knuckling the fucking.
We all
chairs.
have the same thought in our heads, but nobody's saying a word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you got them, a fucking 3-year-old just laughing.
Shit.
But yeah, I go back there end of July. July like 31st, I leave for Taiwan and possibly China as well.
How long you staying over there?
Like 2 weeks.
No.
It's fun. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Good time. It's the food. He loves the food.
The food, dude. I'm a foodie. That's all I do.
Like, we have to stop ourselves from talking about food. We talk about food way too much.
I like food.
I go there. I eat so much good shit that it's amazing.
Yeah. We just talk about it too much. That's the problem. Like, there's nothing wrong with talking about food. But when you're doing a podcast, you can't talk about food
for an hour.
Yeah.
What's your favorite
Every
food?
single
What's your
episode.
favorite dish? If you had one last dish.
Oh,
If I had one
like
dish.
a single dish, it'd be from Taiwan, dude. I would get the A5 Wagyu fucking this fucking steak that I get over there, dude. It's so fucking good. Comes with these potatoes and veggies. That shit, or my mom's meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
I don't know where from.
It's one of those two.
Somewhere bomb, but some bomb ass chicken Alfredo.
Yeah, you've always liked chicken Alfredo. That's been like your go-to.
Alfredo sauce, man. I like Alfredo pizza and shit too.
What's that for? You? Oh.
Is that you got a bruise going? Damn. Damn.
I don't remember
Gina.
kicking you on the inside.
Here, let me take a picture for the people at home. So
Dude, you got me good, dude.
no, that's my face. Yeah, that's gnarly.
Yeah.
Be throwing that up right now, guys.
I just felt that. I'm like, there's a little knot there too, for sure.
Good.
Good.
Good. Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
deserve
glad.
it.
I'm
Yeah,
glad.
that's five. That's
You
a
fucking deserve
5-year knot right
No,
there.
this is exactly. No, I love this shit, dude. I love this shit. This goes on my list of dumb shit I've done.
Maybe for the people at home, we should explain where this all began.
I don't even know where. or
Okay,
how.
because I don't either.
Neither do I.
I think, like me and Eric, we met at a donut shop, working in a donut shop. Well, working in the donut factory. It's not a shop, but like we're not selling donuts to people. But and I mentioned maybe you saw the podcast, or maybe I mentioned that you're my friend and we do a podcast and you're in the UFC and shit. And he would I don't know what it is about Eric. Like when Eric meets people or like celebrities, he always wonders how big they are and shit. Like we went and we
I
saw a
just want to
comedy
size
show.
people up. That's all I want to do. Because
We met Brendan Schaub at a comedy show, and Brendan Schaub's a big guy.
Very
And like,
big, yeah.
like Eric was just like, man, I just want to like fucking size
That's my
him
number
up."
one thing.
And
The
if you
whole
look at the
time is
picture
about
with him,
sizing them
if you
up.
look at the picture with him, Eric's just going like
I wanted
trying to look all
Yeah,
big
I
and
wanted to
shit.
see how big he was. Because
So I
I
think
don't know. I like to size
instinctively-
people up.
It's just that caveman mentality in him. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna talk shit to him.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
just,
throw
like
some
just
friendly
playful
banter.
fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're much bigger than I thought you were. Honestly, I didn't. You got out of the car. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's 6'3", 6'4". Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I was like, oh, he's not small.
Yeah, at the wrestling event or whatever. I think it was the first
yeah.
time you
The
actually
first,
met
yeah,
him.
that wrestling
Yeah.
thing is the first. And I challenged you into that ring too.
I remember too because I walked over to talk to you, and our buddy Pete was with us at that wrestling event. And Pete and Eric was like standing off in the distance, and you was like, "How'd you get here? You ride with Jared?" I was like, "No, I'm here with my dude Eric and Pete." And he goes, and you were like, "Sprinkles? Is that Eric?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Where's he at?" I'm like, "He's over there." And you're like, "Which one?" And I go, "Oh, the taller one over there." Goes, "That's Sprinkles?" I'm like, "Yeah." And you're like, "Dude, he's pretty big."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you probably looked over there and you probably like assumed it was Pete because Pete was a lot shorter.
Yeah, you think sprinkles and you don't think of a
yeah.
big guy.
Because you hadn't met him up to that point,
No.
but he had probably been talking shit to you on the internet,
Yeah.
friendly shit
Mhm.
talk,
Yeah.
back and forth for a couple years at that point, at least 2-3 years, because that was like what, 3 years ago?
What?
that wrestling event was
wrestling
about
event?
3 years, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I was still working at Mary Ann's, and I've been at this place for 4 years.
Yeah,
Time flies.
it really
Yeah.
does. But yeah, you guys have been.
Not
This is
you
like
guys. It's
5
basically
years.
been me talking shit to him for
That's
for 4 or 5 years,
And him responding from time to time.
Yeah,
More recently, more so.
yeah,
That was fun build up though.
yeah. But I was happy to help you scratch some of that itch you have about fighting and hitting people. It feel good for. How about you? How would you feel? What'd you think about going in this and like fighting me, and like sparring with me? Like,
I mean, I've been doing it long enough to where I knew it was on a B, but like I still had. I mean, a couple times, like I told you, I hit you with a left hook, and I was like, all right. I thought in my head, dial it back.
Yeah.
This ain't real.
Yeah.
Chill out. You have nothing to prove. That's me and my old coach Terry, because I go into Victory, probably twice a month or whatever, and he's figured it out. I have not yet. I still have an ego. So I was going with some good jiu-jitsu guy, and I was just bigger, stronger, and I've been doing it. So I was probably getting the better of him, and then, I don't know, we did probably 3 or 4 rounds, and 10 seconds left in the last round, he threw up a weird, crazy triangle I've never seen. He about fucking broke my neck. I wouldn't tap. Would not tap.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I couldn't even turn my head for 2 or 3 days. I was couldn't turn.
I can imagine.
So, and I already have a bad neck to begin with, so I'm talking to Terry. I'm like, I don't know why I just didn't tap. I should have just tapped.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't do it. And he's like, that's an ego thing. You'll work it out.
Yeah.
I still have it where I don't matter what we're doing, I still got to win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
So, but I knew what it was. I mean,
I knew you knew it. I was, like I said before, he's going to control it to what he wants it to be.
I don't think it's really a matter of not having it anymore. I think it's kind of like you're the Hulk. You kind of just gotta suppress it. You learn how to suppress it.
Yeah.
It's just competitiveness. That's all it is. I don't see it as ego or whatever. It's a competitor.
Yeah.
It's why I was bouncing. I'm fucking almost 40, but I'm trying to be 22 by the way I moved into that ring.
right.
It's just competitiveness. I have no ego at all.
And it's one of those things that fuck, I don't know.
And especially when it's your sport. That's not even my sport. And I'm going like that. Imagine that being hit. You know what I'm saying? That competitiveness is never going to leave him. He's always going to need that to win.
Well, that's the thing about fighting too, is you're just literally one punch away at any given second from that being that's the end of the night.
Yeah.
Or even worse. So it's the one sport I've always said, I mean, outside of crazy football injuries and stuff, you can go down by 2 touchdowns and then still come back.
Yeah.
Fighting, you don't see a whole lot of people get dropped and knocked out and then come back, or, come back.
Yeah.
Very rare.
That's why it's so amazing when it does happen.
Right. That's why you can almost name all the fights that happens in.
Exactly.
So that's what I think I respect most about fighting and that's why, and I think a lot of heavyweight, you don't see a whole lot of heavyweights talking shit either. Some do, but most of them, because everybody's so scared of getting hit by big guys. Yeah. These little guys can talk shit. And they hit hard, but not like a heavyweight.
Yeah.
No, I felt, dude, when you hit me a couple of those times, bro, felt like fucking, I don't even know. I thought this was crazy. Wham!
Yep. I've been friends with Jeff for a long time, and never once has the man ever hit me. So I don't know what that feels like, but I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Because I've saw him hit many other people.
And
even as a child.
And he's wearing...
I like to fight.
What were your 14-ounce gloves? What were you wearing?
16. You were wearing 14. I was wearing 16.
He was wearing 16. I can only imagine wearing, 5-ounce?
4 or 5.
4 or 5-ounce MMA gloves.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'd have been laying on the floor.
For sure.
I like using the boxing gloves. And I haven't really talked to many people about it, but I throw better strikes with boxing gloves on.
Really?
Yeah, always
because
have.
When I got there, we saw the MMA gloves on the shelves, and we were looking at them. I was like, oh, and I told him, I was like, honestly, I thought that's what you guys were gonna fight in. I thought this was gonna be an MMA fight, but you guys ended up wearing boxing gloves.
That's how you spar usually with MMA gloves.
No, I figured that out
gloves.
eventually, but I just in the beginning, that's what I thought. Would have been cool. Maybe round 2. You know.
I wanted to do like a bully beatdown thing. I think that would be cool.
I would have to get better condition for that.
I think I would too. I was tired after
the ground.
Bully beatdown, that was just an MMA
ground
fight,
game is so much worse and tiring than standing there and hopping around like that.
For sure.
It's
you'd be done real quick if
yeah, because if I say Gus got on top of me, it's like for me to move, I got to move my weight plus him.
Yeah.
I got to put so much more into that shit.
That's why I wanted to take you down in the first round at the end. I was like, okay, I'm going to make him.
I was thinking about doing that because I did wrestle, not in high school, but I did go to Perry my whole life.
Right,
which
it's a wrestling school.
So everybody knows how to wrestle a little bit. I was thinking about trying to surprise you with shooting a single or something on it just to fuck with them.
That would be so funny. So funny.
Well, I'm like, I don't want to go there, so I don't want to do that.
I know the guy they just named head coach at Perry.
Jonathan?
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's you probably remember Mark. He works for Mester Roofing.
Oh, I might. Yeah, if I saw him, I'd
Yeah.
probably know him.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was looking at the news article and I'm like, holy shit, that's Danny from Mester Roofing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's
Yeah.
an honor to take over that fucking program.
Oh, I talked to him. He's such a nice guy. So it was like, I didn't even know he wrestled. And he was a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how crazy wrestling.
Yeah, he was in our lineup. Yeah, if you make Perry's lineup, you're a fucking stud.
You're a stud. You can
Yeah.
start
Straight up.
anywhere else in Ohio.
Yeah,
That's
And
dope.
them and St. Ed's are like the two schools that are top every year.
yeah. That's like I was telling him. I was like, Perry's one of those schools that if you're a male and you went there from kindergarten on, you wrestled at some point. It might have
Right.
been for a year, but like you were put into wrestling.
Right.
It's just what it is.
I kind of wanted to get. We were looking before we moved to where we are now. We were looking in Perry because I want my boys to wrestle. And where else would you want to send
Exactly.
them?
Like I said, our two of our coaches at one point in time was Clint Mustard and Brian Dolphin. For people that know like those names, like those are
Yeah.
assistants. They weren't even head coaches.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, it's good if you're going to wrestle, go there and get them in the youth. That's what recruits basically. Like we don't recruit, but like we have such a good youth program that like everybody from around here sends their kids to it, to all the camps and shit, and then eventually you just sending your kid there.
mhm.
But my two of the kids from when I was in school went on to win national championships with Steve Luke
Yeah.
at Michigan and Dustin Slater
They were
at straight
Two of
studs.
the best wrestlers I've ever seen in person.
Yeah,
Mm.
just in there in the same lineup, and you watch these kids go against like these fucking other high school kids, and it was comical because you'd be sitting from me to those boxes away, and they're talking to you during their match because it's just so easy.
It's easy.
It was insane to watch that dominant of a person, like in person. Like you see it on TV, but to watch some shit like that, it's crazy.
Yeah, our sectionals were two at Hoover, and there was the one side that was D1, the other side that was D2. And I would, you'd sit there waiting for your match or whatever. You'd watch those guys, and I just remember seeing Slater like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing is 10 times better than what I'm doing over
And
here.
he transferred up here. He was a recruit because he was at St.
Paris Graham, I
St.
think.
Paris Graham,
Yeah.
yeah, down in like Columbus area or whatever.
Which is another great wrestling school.
Oh yeah, because they would always go to that Jeff Jordan camp. Did you ever go to that?
No.
That shit was intense. I guess I never went to that shit. I was never that like I said into wrestling, but it's part of the Jordan family that you see in the government.
Okay.
That Jordan guy, what's his name? Jim.
Jim Jordan.
Yeah, his brother Jeff runs like one of the best like camps in the
Yeah,
fucking
all their
nation.
kids were good at Ohio State, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of high school kids go to that shit.
So Jim Jordan's probably kind of a beast wrestler then, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole family was like 4-timers or something, 4-time state champs.
That's dope. I didn't know that.
I don't know about him, but I imagine.
Well, I'd imagine he
He was
was.
there.
He's a fairly fit dude.
Yeah.
From what I see, so I would imagine like he probably has a little bit of experience at least.
I like his videos.
Yeah,
He's always putting somebody in their place.
for sure. For sure.
You got that Sharpie? Where did we put that?
I gave it to you.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, you put it on that thing. Yeah, I moved the glove, so
Oh, so we're
Oh, you
gonna-
guys gotta sign the
Yeah,
gloves.
sign
you
gloves.
got to sign the board too.
Yeah, he's got to sign the board too.
But-
I'm going to sign these
You already
gloves.
started move. Oh, that's Christopher Lloyd, isn't it?
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd.
Nice.
Yeah, you ever see the? Oh yeah, you've been here. You probably saw the Fauci thing.
Yeah.
But
There.
It's the longest signature ever.
Thanks for not killing me.
Am I signing this one or the other one?
Nope, you can sign this one. You keep that one, and then I keep this one.
no. Yeah, exactly.
And I can put these with my shorts.
I don't know what I should say. What should I say?
Pussy.
Pussy.
You got to talk shit,
Nah.
dude.
I don't know.
Mm.
Take your time. Like I
Yeah,
said,
you don't have to do it right this
like we
second.
don't have to rush this at all.
Mm-mm.
Like we'll probably shoot the shit for a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah.
We'll do the board later. We don't got to do the board right now. We just can't
Our dude
forget.
Alden, we sponsor him on his shorts and like his gear. He won the night.
he won tonight.
Where's he fighting at?
Fury.
I always wanted to fight there.
He won the belt last or he fought for the belt last time, but it was in Texas and he failed for weed. So they took the belt away from him.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then the dude he was supposed to fight this time pulled out of the fight like 3 days before it, and he had to fight some like dude that was like 4-8 because he was just stepping up at that point in time. Did you ever have one of those where you like got called and you're like, and you had to fight with him like a real short notice?
So when we first started amateur fighting here, it was very good for the time. The amateur scene was really good around here. I mean, a lot of guys, just tough dudes. And, but the fights back then was like the Wild West. So like my first 3 fights, 4 fights, 5 fights, something like that, I didn't know who I was fighting.
Were you fighting NAAFS?
I fought, NAAFS. I won their belt the 1 year.
Say you got a belt. I saw it.
Because that's where I would watch Rogers. That's when I knew Brian Rogers.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of, because that's when I worked at the store. I made a lot of his shorts with like the logos and different shit on that. So I went up there a couple of times. I don't know when you started to when he was there, like fucking around at Strong Style.
He went up there. So we started at the same gym down in Canton. And then he went up there probably, I don't know, 1.5 years, 2 years into him training. Okay. And he took me up there once when I wasn't ready to go up there, dude. I got fucked up.
Because I went and watched probably 5 or 6 of his fights because he was fighting in like NAAFS and I don't know if there was like some at some schools down south. There was something outdoor or whatever. And some other like high schools and shit. But Jessica I was still fighting in there. That Big John Hawk. Yeah. I remember watching him fight a few times.
Me and him fought. That was a fun fight.
I think I watched Clint fight one time.
Did you ever go to the one on the flats?
Up at Jacobs Pavilion or whatever? Yeah. I went to, I think there was 2 up there that I went to. That was
my favorite place
I didn't go to the fight, but I went to, because they put out a compilation CD back in like 2009 or something, or 2008. And they had a concert. And you know my sister Christy?
Yeah.
Her ex-husband Randy was in a band at the time called Beyond the Rage, and they were on that CD and they played that show. And I went there and I filmed that show for them. They were the last act to play, and like only like probably like 20 people were there at Jacobs Pavilion, and that shit there was nobody.
Empty.
Yeah.
So was there any fights, or was it just
there were
concert?
No fights? I guess the fights were like coming up. Or were prior. This was a record release show, is what it was. So maybe there weren't fights at all. But yeah, like I've never saw them fights for NAAFS, but I've seen a record release show for them.
I remember that because they said that nobody was allowed to use like copyrighted music.
Yeah.
So they started.
Like there were other bands like that. That band that actually is pretty popular. I think they're Red Sun Rising. I've seen them a few times because I filmed other bands in Akron, and they'd be
no
around.
idea. I just remember that CD.
They reminded me of like a more like rockin' like, I don't know, they changed a bit after that, but they were like a more like rockin' like Blind Melon at the time. But they changed after that a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I remember that album being like all heavy metal, like what you think fighters listen to.
Yeah.
And most of them don't.
And the band that Randy was in was a Christian metal band. They were actually pretty good, but they were a Christian metal band.
What were you listening to here before we left? What was pumping me up?
For some reason, we were listening to, you asked Grok, I think.
Yeah.
What's good, like, epic, I guess, classical music or something. So we were listening to, like, Tchaikovsky and, like, Beethoven. And,
oh, yeah.
Did they hype you up, or?
No.
Not really, no. Okay. Then I turned on the Creed score. That was a little more hypey.
Yeah.
Because they, like, remixed old Rocky songs and shit. So they were, like, 70s style.
But I
like,
was
epic.
I was never one to get hyped. Like, that was like my.
But inevitably Bone Thugs.
Like, yeah, it's just Bone Thugs. But like, that was like my problem at school. Like, when I played baseball my whole life, I wasn't one that would get hyped. Like, I was me until I jumped over that white line and got on the field, and then I'd switch. But over on this other side, I was still in the comical me.
Yep.
Didn't give a shit. But like, I always had that like. I could just flip the switch and go, like, then I could pitch.
I'm the same exact way.
Yeah.
So, like, I would always be, like, that one. I'm not sitting in the corner listening to heavy metal, fucking, like, this shit. Like, no, I'm just myself almost just, and then flip a switch. Like, I got in there, and I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. And then you flip a switch and go.
I'm the same exact way. Steve tells a story about we were at the IX. I had a fight at the IX Center, and he's holding mitts for somebody getting ready a couple fights after me, and me and him are just bullshitting. He's like, "When you fight?" I go, "Oh, I guess I'm fighting now." So just mid conversation, leave. I go out there, knock the dude out in 11 seconds.
Oh shit!
Walk back, continue the conversation.
That's awesome.
That's good. But Jeffy, when you were in the UFC, what was the most surprising thing about the UFC? Something you didn't expect?
The PI.
Really?
Yeah.
As far as what,
Like how
good,
impressive
bad,
it
How
was?
impressive it is.
Like state of the art shit.
Yeah, it's just it's.
They still had Pelotons when you were there, though.
I don't know. I never.
You heard about that?
Yeah,
though.
I heard about that. But
Now, was everything there like? Was that part of like in your contract? Is you had full access, like you could do everything that
I think,
place had to
yeah.
offer, like kitchen, like they have food and shit to
yeah,
offer.
and it was a whole cafeteria.
That's
a
cool.
Whole I mean, huge.
And you got that's
awesome.
sweet.
You just walk up and you go.
That was good.
It's great.
And could you stay there?
They didn't have. I don't know if they had like beds or anything, but they'd get you a hotel. They got me a hotel after I broke my hand. I went back and rehabbed for a week.
Oh,
So I would literally just stay at my hotel or walk around Vegas or whatever, and then I'd go there.
When
like
did you
2
break
times.
your hand? Was it fight or training?
Yeah, it was fighting.
Was it like a boxer break? Or?
I don't know. I don't have a knuckle
I remember.
anymore.
Oh, okay.
There's an episode of Jam Up where he
Was I all
you had
casted
just
up?
broke
Was
it
it
out.
early
Yeah.
in the fight or was it?
Yeah, I think it was the first round. I think it was an overhand right that clipped him, and
And did you know as soon as you hit him, like fuck?
no,
Just adrenaline set up.
no,
You
I
didn't
didn't
know.
feel it until like I remember going to between the second and third round. I looked at Steve and I was like, I think my hand's broke. He's like, who cares?
You gotta keep going. Yeah,
Yeah,
at this
I mean,
point.
you can't quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching your knuckle. It never came back. It was always in there.
Yeah, it's all
Like
the
you
way down here.
showed
I'm not
me.
sure what's going on with it.
So
Damn, that's nuts. That's
speaking
so
of that,
good.
like you got to keep going. Earlier, I didn't ask these earlier, but I kind of asked. I tried to ask these too. I just thought of them. It's like
Yeah.
early in your career. What was that moment, or like the fight, or something where you were like, "This is it. Like I can make it." I like. Was there a fight? Was there like what moment was that?
So I'll tell the long story since we're all talking now, but
Well, that's what
it
we're here
was-
for, man.
I was going to Victory when I was 17. I got kicked out of my house. My sister had to sign for an apartment. So
Okay.
it was over off Market or 29th Street or something over there. And I'm getting huge in the UFC and Pride. So I'm driving around one day and I see in those windows it says MMA. So I stop. And I'm like, I was done wrestling. I had nothing going on. So I went in there and I got my ass kicked for a good solid year and a half. And I'm driving there. And I told myself, I said, if I get my ass kicked today, I'm never going back. I'm not as tough as I thought. I go in there and I won a couple rounds. And I was like, that's it. This is it. This is what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing.
This is what I'm doing the rest of my life. Yep.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom was working it used to be called the Roadside. And I'd go in there and I'd see her. And I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna be a professional fighter. And she thought I was crazy. And
Yeah.
she's like, come on.
I mean, UFC was popular back then too, but it's not what it is now.
No.
It's not as respected and
Yeah,
prestigious.
exactly. It was still like, you're gonna what? You're gonna get
Yeah.
an occasion
It was still
fight?
banned in tons of places.
Right.
Yeah, this is like
This was
it was like on
2006.
FX or something. Like,
I just
Yeah.
graduated high school,
yeah,
and yeah, that's when I 2006. I told her, I'm like, it was right after that night. I won a couple rounds against grown men. I said, I'm gonna be a professional fighter, and she's like, yeah, right. Then I got a punching bag, and I
Yeah.
trained at home all the time, and I'd go train. That's all I cared about
Mm.
was training. Didn't care about anything else.
Oh yeah.
that's sweet.
So
Fuck yeah. That's cool shit.
All right, well, I got to ask you this at some point. If you could go back in time or forward in time, what time would you go to, and what would you do?
I'd go back in time, and
Okay.
I'd live with the Vikings.
The Vikings.
Yeah.
Be a Viking man.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think that'd be the best. You can go and fucking,
Would you get cool head tattoos and shit?
yeah.
Like fucking
Yeah, I'd fit it.
braid your beards and
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah. I just want to, if I had to kill somebody, it'd be with like an axe.
Yeah, dude.
Even though I don't think they did.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you'd be feasting in Valhalla, my friend.
Yeah. I would have to. I mean, that's like I think that'd be Is that a weird answer? Is it
No,
stupid?
that's
Okay.
a perfect answer. You know?
If you could, just off the top of your head, I know it's kind of, but if you could have dinner with 3 people that are living still, who would they be?
I think Rogan would have to be a good answer, right? He knows
Rogan.
everybody and met everybody.
Yeah, he'd probably bring a couple friends, and you'd be like, "Oh shit,
Oh,
Jordan
shit.
Peterson, what's up,
Yeah.
dude? Theo, how's it going?"
Man, that's a good question. So he'd be one. Man, I don't know. That's a good question.
You got time, dude. Like I said,
Rogan and you two.
that's sweet. Well, you can have that, my friend. And by the way, Rogan, come on out.
Yeah.
No.
If you were stuck in a car driving across country and you had like one album, CD or whatever to listen to the entire time, what would it be? You can throw out like 1 or 2 options. It doesn't have to be like that one, but
Yeah,
whatever comes to your head.
No particular order.
Incubus, Make Yourself,
Good. Great. We're both fans of Incubus.
and probably in Keeping Secrets.
Nice. Coheed, love
Yeah,
Coheed.
that'd probably be the 2. If I'm going across country, I need 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could honestly, I could listen to those just
on replay.
on
Yeah.
repeat.
And
yeah.
Keeping Secrets, well, they both do, but in Keeping Secrets has very weird lines, but very like wailable fucking bang the fucking wheel lines you could sing on a road trip for sure.
And then if you could see one music act or go to a show, even if they're still not a group or not, who would you want to see?
Motorhead.
Motorhead?
Yeah.
Good choice.
That'd be.
Are they still together?
No,
He's-
Lemmy
he
has
died.
passed.
Oh, damn. What about that's still together? Is there someone that you'd want to go see? It's maybe out right now, a little Morgan Wallen.
Metallica.
Metallica?
Good
Okay.
choice.
Because I mean, they have to put on a good
Which
show to
version?
be around for 40 years.
You want Tony Chuchillo version? Is that his name?
The
new,
bassist?
the new bass player? You want that?
He's not really new anymore. It's been
Yeah,
around for
I
like
guess
20
it's been like
years.
2 decades. The Newstead version or the Cliff Burton version?
Cliff Burton.
Yeah, how could you
Yeah.
not say that? May he rest in peace. Man, he went in a gnarly way, didn't he?
Yeah.
People at home, he was crushed by the tour bus in a bus
I
accident.
hope he was like gone before all that happened, though.
Yeah, he was asleep when it happened,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, he flew out the window. Anyway,
How about you guys?
For
wait,
what?
what was the question?
If you could see one musical act, who would it be?
Still going right now. I think I answered this in a previous episode, but I said Horse the Band because I've always wanted to see him, and I could, but
Probably,
not very often.
I haven't seen probably Incubus.
They're so good live.
Incubus would be great. They've toured with Coheed a few times.
I probably want to see them. And then I'm trying to think of someone that's maybe not together. Like,
Yeah, not together anymore.
I would probably want to see like, I'm not the greatest with artists and like old shit, but like some like Woodstock type shit. I'd want to go get fucking eat
Like
some
Hendrix or something?
Yeah, I'd want to go eat some shrooms, smoke a bunch of weed, and go see some shit like that.
Woodstock would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like they're still around, but they broke up for a long time. But they actually just recently got back together to do some recent stuff. But like, I would say like Danzig era Misfits, early Misfits.
Yeah, I
would be
love
nice.
the Misfits too.
Like then when Danzig was in his prime and his voice was just pristine, and he was like super jacked
They all were super jacked.
at
Yeah.
like 3'2".
Yeah, but with Misfits, I like all the old stuff, but my favorite album by them is Famous Monsters.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good one.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Something.
What is his
Can't remember his singer, but he's a much younger dude. But he was good.
Yeah.
He was a decent version of the Misfits.
Yeah.
But you can't beat.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
I just wish the Danzig stuff sounded better.
It's all on
Like
old
I wish.
recordings.
It all sounds like garbage. Even though not garbage, but it all sounds like it was recorded in the 70s
And probably a
in a very
shitty
low quality studio. Yeah.
Which I could be wrong. I don't know anything about music.
Maybe
studios.
that's something AI would be good for. Is to
Yeah.
restore that to make it sound like studio quality today. But would it be the same? Probably not.
Probably not. I think that's what makes them so fun to listen to. Is they're kind of
It is
grainy
that
and
gritty.
yeah,
black-
gritty.
Yeah, it probably would be the same. But still, it'd be an interesting thing.
How'd you pick out your walkout songs?
I would listen to it like 30, 40, 50 times.
Wasn't it usually
Like something would hit like during camp?
Yeah, either it would hit during camp or I don't know, just like whatever would put me into that mindset to go out there. Like I changed it a few times, but as a pro, it was
Chili Peppers?
Chili Peppers.
Higher Ground, yeah.
Higher Ground for
Yeah.
the most part.
What were other songs? I didn't know any other ones. Just that
my
one.
last fight was the Black Keys.
Oh, that's a good one.
I can't remember the
Good
name of the
choice.
song. It's a good song.
One of the popular ones?
No, it wasn't a really popular one.
Okay.
I'll remember it here in a second. But
And then can you pick anything? Like
Yeah,
when you're
oh,
in
yeah.
UFC, they're like,
yeah,
you
they
pick,
don't.
There's no copyright issues.
No, I don't think
Could you
so.
pick a WWE theme if you wanted to?
That's a good. Probably now.
Because, dude, if I could pick a walkout
Yeah, probably
song,
now you could for
Yeah.
sure.
probably my go-to one would be Samoa Joe's WWE theme.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Man, it was so good. It had the lion roar. And it was the horns and shit. Like, burm, 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 burm,
I think
burm, burm. That shit is
Seth
so
Rollins would be fun to come out too
That
if
is
everybody got in
That is
with
a
you.
good
But
one.
if
Got
it
into
wasn't,
it.
if they didn't
Yeah.
get into it, you'd be kind of fucked.
good. Yeah.
That's a good transition now. So you're into wrestling growing up. I don't know how much you watch now or pay attention, but who are some of your favorite wrestlers like when you were growing up or when you watched?
I know.
So everybody loves Stone Cold. I
Yeah.
love Stone Cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
D'Lo Brown.
Yeah.
That
Was
dude.
one. Yeah.
I thought off the rip you'd say Macho Man, Razor Ramon.
Those are the two of my top
Yeah.
favorites of all time.
For the people
Yeah.
at home, his dad is Razor Ramon.
Still to this day.
Yeah. Like hasn't missed
Still
a
looks
beat.
like just
Still looks
gray now.
exactly like him. Yeah.
No.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I don't want to say it. It's disrespectful. To
But-
Razor Ramon, not your
Yeah, dude, Macho Man is. You still watch Macho Man shit, and you're like, that's fucking.
dude. I
the
have
best.
multiple Macho Man T-shirts that I
Yes.
wear often.
Who'd you hate? Who's like your wrestlers? Like, man, fuck that guy. I've always hated them.
Man, that's a good question. Who did I hate? I think he's awesome now, but I never really liked Triple H.
Oh, okay.
I
He
love
was such a
Triple H.
good heel. Like, he
was my
made me
boy
not
back
like
in the
him.
day. Yeah. There were moments where I was like, fuck Triple H. But most of the time I was like, I fucking love that guy.
Yeah, Triple H. I never, like, anytime, never cheered for him. And then he came back after that quad injury, and he was fucking huge and
it was-
scary. And I was like, oh,
It was
Triple H is the man.
DX that turned me into a Triple H fan. And because I love Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is my dude. To me, he's the GOAT.
He is the goat.
But then they did DX, and I was like, okay, Triple H is cool. And then Shawn Michaels left. And then I was like, Triple H is cool. He's my boy. Triple H kind of became my dude after that.
Yeah.
You know who made me, I was scared of, and I've never admitted it, was when Kane first came out.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
scared of Kane?
Scared to death. I would
would
change because he would wrestle. The lights were all red.
Yeah.
His first
the
couple
music was
months.
super cool. And at that point, wrestling was still kind of like goofy and kiddie.
Yeah.
So that was actually pretty
Scary.
fucking, yeah, cool. You know what I
I
mean?
turned the channel every time he would come on. I was scared.
Yeah, dude. Undertaker was awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're at home, say you're watching wrestling, and you don't smoke weed, but I'm going to say munchies, and you have the perfect like munchie snack or snacks with you.
It's a good one.
It like a snack and a drink as well.
Okay.
Like what are you picking? Like what do you want there? Like cookies and milk, for example, or what are you
I'm
going
picking Red Stag
with? Okay.
and a Coke.
Red Stag, is that beef turkey?
That's
No.
beer.
Oh.
No, Red Stag is Jim Beam.
Jim Beam.
I
okay.
love Red Stag.
No. I think I got drunk on that with you. one
Yeah,
night.
I
Yeah.
usually try to make people get drunk with me on it.
I should have known.
That and buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken dip. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Or chips and dip. I'll take it back. Chips and dip. That's
Okay.
my favorite.
Chips and dip. Nice.
Hands down.
Favorite video games of all time? Resident Evil.
So many. Resident Evil 2,
Yeah.
God of War 2018.
Yeah, I know that one as well.
What else? And Last of Us Part 1.
Okay. Is there any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions.
Mark's thinking. Mark's saying
Don't-
something you should say.
Do I?
Huh? You know what I'm thinking about.
I do?
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. Tuberculosis.
Oh, Red Dead 2. That's
There
a
you go.
gimme. Oh,
I need any reason to
yeah.
talk about it, dude.
Oh, that's a gimme.
He's never played it, so he doesn't give a shit. I used to talk about it with Rudy all the time, and you.
Yeah.
Corey, play that shit if you're watching this.
Yeah. No, he won't. He won't. He'll say he will, but he won't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll play it. He won't.
But no, I was just hoping you'd say that. But
yeah,
I was
that
trying
completely
to like
slipped my mind. But yeah,
telepathically
Red
tell
Dead
you.
is. There's no game like it. And I don't know if they'll ever until the third one comes out. If there will be.
God, yeah, it will be 48 when it comes out.
That's fine. I'll just survive long enough to see it.
Yeah.
So if you got some Red Stag and your Coke and some chips and dip, what are you watching? Like, what are you turning on? You turn on sports? Are you scrolling YouTube? Like
It's Always Sunny in
documentaries?
Philadelphia.
Boom, love it.
That's what I watch.
It's always sunny.
Reruns. If I'm watching TV, which is very rare,
It's
Always Sunny.
it's Always Sunny.
Yeah, love Always
And I've
Sunny.
watched every episode anywhere from 10 to 20 times each. Like
Yeah, dude, you and me both, and we're not the only ones, man. There's a DJ that remixes Always Sunny, and people are like at raves, just like listen to Dennis, like give the Dennis system and shit
Yeah.
and different quotes. And I love when they put Danny DeVito or Frank Reynolds in like video games and
the
like
one with The
cartoons
Last
and
of
movies
Us
and
is the
shit.
best.
Dude, it's so good. He's in there's a few of them, but the Last of Us one is great.
He's killing the bird.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
it was the machete part.
Yeah, dude, that shit's so gold. They put him in like Skyrim and
Yeah.
Fallout and stuff. It's so good.
Yeah. So that's like I feel like that's our. And I could be wrong on this, but I think that's like our generation Seinfeld. Like you can put it on, or Friends. Some
Yeah.
people say Friends is
Yeah.
like that. You can put it on and just know every.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of offensive and crude. Seinfeld,
Yeah.
like kids today anyway, looking back on it, see it as cancelable. You know what I mean?
There's definitely. I'm sure there is cancelable stuff, but It's Always Sunny. It's kind of like South Park, dude. It's
Yeah,
like they
their-
can't touch it for
Their
some
grandfather
reason.
did. Yeah.
And It's Always Sunny. Even like this, I think it was this past season or maybe the season before. They even talked. They had an episode about it. Did you watch that one?
I haven't watched that. I think the Ireland episode or season was the last one I watched.
Okay,
So I'm
that
like
was
a
my least
season or
favorite
two
season
behind.
actually.
It had its moments.
Yeah,
For
but
sure.
this past season was really good. I thought, and I think the new one comes out in July.
Dude,
you ever
I-
watch it?
What?
It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, I've seen the first like few seasons, but then fell off. I'm like you. I really don't watch a lot of TV, and when I do watch something, it's like I either got a podcast on, or I'm watching like
Doing three things at once, kind of.
yeah, or my
Yeah.
kids are doing shit, or they're watching shit, and I'm just kind of just chilling with them or something. But that's why it's
Yeah.
hard for me to play like Red Dead and like
Yeah. I try to get them like I was like, dude, you
'Cause
should check out this movie.
I don't get a lot of time to like play for an hour or two, really, you know.
Like, you know how you had my Guardians of the Galaxy for like 4 years?
Yeah,
He's had my Iron Claw for like a year and a half, 2 years.
that's the movie with Zac Efron.
Yeah, the wrestling one,
Yeah.
yeah.
I started watching. I don't know. I don't think it got me in like it was. I
It's
thought it was
pretty
going
good.
to.
It's pretty good. You gotta like roll with it for a little while, you know what I mean?
Mark, do you remember Dodgeball at Walker was called 911? That was like our favorite game. That was my favorite game.
Yeah, because when you get down, somebody would have to
Drag you back.
drag you back.
Isn't-
Yeah.
That was when dodgeball wasn't pussy dodgeball.
Right.
It used
I
the red
remember-
balls and
we
shit.
used, oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I
that
remember
shit.
I
Loved
went
it.
down one time playing 911, and Aaron Forte, as we used to call him, he hated it. But Aaron Forte fucking damn near pulled my arm out of my socket, dragging me back. 'Cause Aaron Forte was a strong motherfucker.
I was just going to say that how now they couldn't play that just because he'd pull kids' arms out of sockets.
yeah,
and
dude.
shit.
I was just like, fuck. I was like, damn, Aaron, you're a strong motherfucker.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
But what was that one game where you had to walk on the lines, right? And you had to
Yeah.
like it was almost like tag.
But you couldn't leave the baselines.
You had to walk on the lines of like the court.
Yeah,
That game was fun as shit.
I do. And you had it's Pac-Man. We just called
Was
it
that
Pac-Man.
what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because with the ghost had the red balls.
Yeah.
You had to touch them.
And then there was team handball, which was fun.
Yeah, we did intramurals of that.
Yeah, dude. Gym class was fun back then.
It really was. When I was working at the school, I watched some of their gym classes, and they're okay, sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jack. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I never wanted to do that shit.
I always enjoyed the roller skating like week because you could bring in music.
Yeah,
I remember I brought in like Pearl Jam and something else.
I do remember that.
Couple things. I think I brought Coheed in actually in like high school, early high school or like
Yeah.
late middle school. No, it was high school because I didn't hear about Coheed until like 9th grade. So it was probably like 9th or 10th grade. But yeah.
Roller skates. What was it? I liked when we did the basketball. I liked all like the normal sports. Those were all fun.
Do you remember? Did you have the presidential physical fitness test?
I did.
We did have that.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
You couldn't remember.
I remember like
that.
track and field day and
Yeah.
shit.
So I remember like the V-sit, like you
Those
could go
days were
out
fun.
and like pull-ups and different shit
Yeah.
like that. You okay.
We did hangs.
Hangs.
I don't think pull-ups were a thing. I mean, it could have been, but
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I remember that because I was trying to tell him about it. I'm like, oh yeah, you got like a fucking patch and shit with it. And
the only thing I was really good at was the shuttle run.
Okay.
And the one where you sit down, you have to.
The V-sit. Or
Yeah,
whatever
because
it
I have
was.
such long arms and short legs.
You had to
I'm
put
like,
your legs in that box and like reach out to a number.
I was always good at that one.
Yeah.
The shuttle run. That was the only thing I hit presidential time on. I remember Mr. Miller, like his eyes got this big. He's like,
You're cool.
"You hit it."
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
I must not have participated. What's the craziest thing you remember from back in the, like? What's the most memorable, like, craziest moment from back in our day? Shit we did or something that happened during school.
First time we drank. First time you drank.
All of it. Yeah, that was the first time I drank. Yeah.
I remember that was a memory.
Yeah, we snuck out of your mom's basement
Yeah.
in the mud. Like there was a little window, and we somehow crawled up through it, snuck out
Yeah,
of
it
the
was
basement.
like made for escaping fires and shit.
But like there was mud all outside of
Yeah.
it, so we like tracked through the mud. We were covered in mud, and we went and we like egged a bunch of neighbors' houses, and I think we even took, I think it was Papa John's little garlic sauce
Chuck
containers,
those.
and we're like threw them at people's houses, and I think
we covered a mailbox in it.
something to do with the mailbox. I remember.
I remember that.
And yeah, that was the first night I ever drank. I did like a double shot of like whatever that blue Captain Morgan stuff was, I think, and like
Terrible.
and
Just
something
gross.
else. But I was kind of hammered up those 3 shots, dude. Playing Tony Hawk with Josh on the couch, and you and Nick were looking at downloading porn on LimeWire.
So just the nights of like that, and I remember wrestling like AHW.
American Hardcore Wrestling.
Yeah, like those were some good memories. House parties were fun,
For sure.
but
There's a couple parties. We didn't party too much together,
no.
but there was probably like 3 or 4 parties we did.
Me and Josh had a couple good parties, and then Hubler had the best spot.
Yeah, Shane Branning.
Branning had a couple good parties.
Yeah. Speaking of the HW title, it's up there on the wall, buddy. We both held that title.
I was thinking about bringing that.
Wearing that,
Yeah.
that would be disrespectful.
Yeah.
He
I was
said
about to say,
that.
don't do
Title.
that. He might actually.
That's what he
fuck
said.
your
He
ass.
said he might actually fucking rock you hard.
That's the most coveted title, probably.
I mean, I see a bunch of title belts, and that one is top notch.
Yeah. That's why it's higher than all the rest.
What about you?
Craziest. I can think of like the backyard wrestling days, wrestling on the trampoline, and when I was thrown over the fence, and there was a rock in my shoe. Josh came down to save me, and like I went tumbling down this like brig hill with like a bunch of bushes and thorns and shit.
Straight down, yeah.
My shoe got stuck, but there was a rock in my shoe when I found it, and I just randomly pulled the rock out and threw it up in the air, and it went all the way up and smashed Nate in the fucking head.
Did you talk about that when he came
and
on?
Nate broke kayfabe in the middle of the thing. I don't know if we did or not.
Oh.
We didn't get to talk too much back in the day stuff. That's round 2, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Did you go see his band?
we did not. We have not. But I think we want to.
Yeah.
It's just bad timing.
That timing?
Yeah. Usually they do things on the weekends, and usually that's when we're doing the podcast.
Right,
I
yeah,
think we had a guest.
That was the one in April, right?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
That's cool. If you would have asked if I would have ever thought he was in a band.
Yeah. And
A popular band,
His
yeah.
band's actually really good.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, yeah. That song they made a video for, that shit was stuck in my head for
That was a
quite some
good song.
time. It actually is a really good song. Like, I'm proud of that dude. Be cool to get him and you on here and we could all reminisce and shit.
Yeah.
We definitely all had some moments. But all right, man. I guess we should probably wrap this up. Jeffy, thanks for coming out, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks again, sir.
Like, you're welcome back anytime.
Absolutely.
We'll
You have to do it
you back.
again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very fun, very, like, long-awaited day today.
Did it live up to the hype, you think?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
I think people will enjoy it.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. I hope you guys did. Let us know in the comments if you did. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends.
Pass it on.
Pass a blunt, pack a bowl, roll a J, whatever you prefer, really, in your legal state, of course. Yeah. Until next time.
Later.